my name's Nazy, and today I'll be showing you how to get mods for Beat Saber on the Quest. Now, this is an advanced kind of tutorial. This mod doesn't show you how to get custom songs, but it shows you how to get mods like noodle extensions, chroma, and things like custom sabers. So this tutorial's been highly requested, and I was putting it off because I was hoping these mods would be updated to work with the latest version of Beat Saber, but unfortunately not. So what we're going to have to do today is downgrade our version of Beat Saber to get it to work with these mods that haven't been updated. So I'll be walking you through how to do that. So if you've stumbled across this video hoping to get custom songs, I do have a separate video guide for that. So the link will be in the description down below. But you can follow along. This tutorial still will kind of work, but I'm going to skip a few steps and kind of get more into the nitty-gritty stuff. So this tutorial is highly requested because it can get you mods like noodle extensions. And if you may have seen in my videos or other people's videos, you may have seen these Beat Saber maps that have a lot of like art and interactive elements to them, and they're just really, really cool. And I absolutely love maps that use noodle extensions. It's a form of mapping that allows mappers to do some pretty creative and crazy stuff. And at the very end of last year, the modders just made this available for Quest. So it's been out for a couple of months now, and I haven't done a tutorial yet, but here we are. But noodle extensions is super hacking cool, highly recommend getting it. And yeah, there's a bunch of really cool mods, and this guide will show you how to get access to all those really, really cool mods. So just a few quick notes, by doing this tutorial, you won't be able to play the newer music packs in Beat Saber because we're downgrading Beat Saber. We're downgrading all the way back down to where Skrillex was the latest one. So if you want to play those new music packs, you'll just have to update and then do all this process again if you want the mods. So yeah, warning there. And also, again, multiplayer won't work, but there are mods that allow multiplayer to work. So I'll show you how to get that in a moment. So let's dive in. So first up, you need to set up and install SideQuest. I won't be walking you through that in this tutorial. I have other tutorials that cover that. Otherwise, I'll leave a link down below that shows you how to set up and install SideQuest. But you will need to have SideQuest set up and all your developer accounts set up and ready to go for this to work. So once we've got SideQuest all set up and running, we want to go to the website linked down below, which has all the old versions of Beat Saber. This is a really cool website where you can go through and see all the different versions of Beat Saber and download the version that you want. So for this tutorial, we want version 1.17.1. At this stage, that is the version that has the most mods available for it and is the most stable. This may change over time, so make sure to read the pinned comment in the description down below. That will have the most updated information for you guys, so make sure to check that out. But we want to download 1.17.1. But before we do, we need to make sure we're logged into the Oculus website. If you scroll up a bit on that page, there's a little Oculus link, so you can click on that and make sure you're logged in. Otherwise, it won't let you download these versions. So it's just checking that you've purchased Beat Saber already, and yeah, then it'll let you download that, and we'll get to that in a moment. But now we want to plug in our Quest to our computer. Again, doesn't need to be any powerful PC, just any computer. And we want to use our USB-C to normal USB cable and make sure it's all connected up and recognized in SideQuest. Once we're in SideQuest, we then want to navigate to the top right-hand corner. There's a block with a bunch of little blocks inside it, and this is where we'll find our installed apps. So we want to click on that, and from here we can see all the apps that are installed on our Quest. So we want to navigate to where we see the Beat Saber one, and we want to navigate to the cog on the right-hand side and click on that. So from here, it's recommended that you back up Beat Saber. So there's a little option that says backup Beat Saber, so it'll do its thing and back it all up. So make sure you do that. And then from there, we want to uninstall Beat Saber. So there'll be an option there that allows you to uninstall Beat Saber. So once that's done, we then want to install the old version of Beat Saber, the one we just downloaded. So again, in SideQuest, at the top of the page in the top right-hand corner, there's a little icon there that allows us to install an APK. So we want to click on that, and we can navigate to our folder where we just downloaded Beat Saber 1.17.1. So we want to click on that and get that to install onto our Quest. So if that's all working correctly, you should have the older version of Beat Saber on your Quest. You can put it on and test it just in case. But now we've got the old version, we then want to mod it with BMBF. But to install BMBF onto the Quest, the best way is in SideQuest. We just want to search for the program BMBF, and this is what patches and modifies Beat Saber to allow us to install mods and custom songs and stuff like that. So Inside Quest, search BNBF, and there should be an option to install that straight onto your Quest. Now that's done, we then want to pop on our Quest headset. I recommend still leaving it plugged into your PC, but once we got the Quest on, we then want to navigate to our apps in the bottom right hand corner. We then want to go to the top of that page and there'll be a navigation bar where we can click on that and choose other options. So you want to go down to the bottom, choose unknown sources, and then it should just say BNBF there. So we want to click on BNBF and then install BNBF by following the prompts. If you haven't done this before, make sure you read all the details about it. Again, won't go into the nitty gritty because I covered that in a different tutorial, but make sure you read all the prompts and install BNBF onto your Quest. And a quick reminder, if you have multiple accounts installed on your Quest, this won't work. So you will need to disable multiple accounts on your Quest, otherwise you're just gonna get errors doing this step. Once that's all completed, I recommend booting up Beat Saber to check that the modding all worked. If it did work, you should see kind of a notice board on the right hand side, and then the left hand side an option to search for songs, which means you can then get custom songs on Beat Saber and everything worked correctly. I did have a couple of issues where permissions weren't allowed, so if you're having trouble booting Beat Saber, make sure you click on the 3 little dots on the app, and there's an option there for permissions, and you want to make sure that's switched on. So if Beat Saber's all working correctly, we then want to navigate back to BNBF on the Quest. So open BNBF from unknown sources, and then open that up, and then we want to have a look at the top of the page, and there'll be an option that says Tools. So we want to select Tools, and on this page, in the top right hand corner, we'll see a bunch of numbers. It'll say server or browser or something and a bunch of numbers, HTTP and whatever your browser is. So we want to write that down or remember it. And then we want to take off our Quest and then go to a web browser on our computer. And we then want to type in that number. So make sure you add in the HTTP and all the numbers that were on your Quest. Now, once you've done that, it'll open up a page, which is like a BNBF web browser. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's talking wirelessly to your Quest. And from here, we can manually download mods and songs from our PC onto our Quest and wirelessly sync it. So a lot of people prefer downloading songs this way, but it's a really cool way to easily add mods. So now we want to download the mods we want for Beat Saber for version 1.17.1. Now these mods can be a little bit hard to find because they're not really like supported anymore, but I found a really great website for you guys, which is linked down below, which has all the mods for every version ever pretty much. So on this website, we want to go up to the top and say I'm using version 1.17.1 or whatever version you're using. And from there, it'll give you a big list of all the mods. Now, there's a bunch of mods, but I recommend downloading first Noodle, Chroma, and Cosmetics. So don't get too carried away yet, but yeah, let's try just doing them first. Because the more mods you have, the more issues you're going to have. So if you download every single mod, chances are your Quest is just going to crash a lot. It'll be really slow. So to download a mod, just click on the one you want and it should download automatically to your web browser. And then we want to navigate back to the BNBF web browser page. And from here, we can either drag and drop those mods, or you can click on the square and manually navigate to where you downloaded them. So once you drag and drop a mod, it'll come up in the top right hand corner, Sync Saber or Sync to Beat Saber. So you want to do that, make sure it's all complete. And then we can put on our headset again. And within BNBF, there's a mods tab up the top. If you click on that, you can then scroll through that list. And if it shows up with those mods installed, that means everything worked correctly. So from there, we then want to boot up Beat Saber again. So the best way to check out if Noodle extensions worked is to play a Noodle map. I've got some recommended ones down below. I highly recommend checking out Somewhere Out There, which is an amazingly beautiful Noodle extension map, and surprisingly, it looks really good on the Quest. I was surprised at how well this mod works on Quest, so that's definitely like a mind-blowing experience if this is your first Noodle map to play. And when you're searching for maps, a lot of them will say NE or Chroma, which means they support Noodle extensions or Chroma, so that's a good way when you're searching for maps to see if they are supported with Noodle extensions. And if you do get a map that's like grayed out where it says can't play it, there should be a question mark in the web page, and if you click on that, it will tell you what mods you're missing. So a lot of these maps do use Noodle extensions and Chroma, but sometimes they'll need something like mapping extensions or something in particular. So if you get stuck, click on that question mark and it'll tell you what you're missing to be able to play that. So now I'll walk you through how to get things like custom sabers for Beat Saber. So the mod that we've hopefully already installed is called Cosmetics. Otherwise, make sure you download that and install all that if you want custom sabers. So Cosmetics is a mod that allows us to download custom models for Beat Saber. But if you want to download additional sabers and blocks, you will need to join the Cosmetic Community Discord. So I'll leave a link for you down below. So once you join the Cosmetics Discord, they have an option on the left-hand side. It'll say sabers, it'll say blocks, it'll say walls. So you can then browse through that Discord and basically download whatever sabers and blocks takes your fancy. So there's a ton there. Just browse through, and when you find something you like, download it. And once you've got some models you like, we then navigate back to our BMBF web browser like we did before, and again drag and drop those models into the web browser. And once they've all loaded up, make sure to press sync. And then when you put on your headset, open up Beat Saber. A reminder, I recommend closing Beat Saber and then reopening it, otherwise this stuff probably won't show up, so you need to close it and reopen it every time you install new mods. So once you sync that across, in the saber section, you should be able to see all those new sabers you installed. And in the settings there, you can also play around with it, like the trail length, the length and thickness of the sabers. There's a bunch of custom settings, but I believe if you change the length of your sabers, it's going to affect your score, so just be wary of that. But yeah, I think that covers a lot on how to get extra mods for Beat Saber. Fortunately, it's not like super streamlined. It is a little kind of confusing having to downgrade Beat Saber, but definitely worth it to get noodle extensions and things like custom sabers. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I really hope you guys have a lot of fun playing some noodle extension maps. I'll leave a bunch of my recommended ones in the description because I love playing noodle maps. They're probably my favorite ones to play. And a massive shout out to all these modders who continue to make these mods for us and support them, and such amazing work you guys do, and they do it for free, which is insane. So thank you, and a massive thank you to all the mappers who continue to make these amazing like noodle maps and stuff like this. So massive thank you to the modding community. You guys make our lives so much better. Make sure to double check the pinned comment in the description down below, which will have updates. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and happy modding. See you later.